I had filmed a video on my old phone right before it broke on me, piece of shit, about actually Baby Driver. It was an Edgar Wright film, and I love Edgar Wright movies. Absolutely love them. I think the man is a fucking genius. The Blood and Ice Cream trilogy, I already did a review for that. I think that Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, Hot Fuzz, those were all absolutely brilliant. They pulled on your heartstrings, but they were also like really just hysterical and satirical, and the editing was great. Even like, Scott Pilgrim versus the World that he did later, which was also brilliant and arguably one of the most innovative things that came out in 2010. Like, it really, like with the editing and stuff like that, it really had like his stamp on it. It had his fingerprint. So yeah, absolutely love Edgar Wright, and I'm coming from a loving place when I say that I think that Baby Driver was to date his absolute weakest link yet. That's not to say that it was awful, it was just massively disappointing in my opinion. This movie got rave reviews for the most part, so obviously this isn't a very like crazy popular opinion that I have. The number one issue that I had with the movie is it's marketed as a car chase movie, and in the first, I want to say like half hour, maybe 45 minutes of the movie, there's like 2 car chases, and they're fucking awesome. They're amazing. It didn't look like there was really any digital effects. I think that was all real-time crazy shit, and it was sort of like, all right, yeah, okay, I can get into this, and the character of Baby is really intriguing, how he has his headphones in all the time, but he's still like, he can still hear everything that people say. Everybody in the cast was great. John Hamm was great, but there were, in actuality, really only 2 chase scenes in the very beginning of the movie. Or, well, in the beginning half of the movie, and that's it. There's a certain thing where 2 characters end up at odds, and there's this, like, big epic ending. It's building up to a big epic ending where one of Baby's songs is blasting, and it's sort of like, oh, fuck, all right, this is the final showdown, and they get in their cars, and they're racing off, and then it ends very abruptly. It's not even like a... It's not even a car chase, and I was like, well, that was fucking underwhelming. There's a lot of shit in the movie that was very disjointed, didn't make any sense, and Kevin Spacey himself. First of all, I'm just gonna tell you, I don't like Kevin Spacey. I've never liked Kevin Spacey, and this isn't just, I'm not just jumping on the train, the Hollywood train of like, oh yeah, dude's a fucking scumbag. I mean, yes, he is, but I disliked him even before that because he came across as just like a really fucking pompous douchebag, and fucking like, he did this commercial, I forget what the hell it was for, but he was supposed to be demonstrating his acting ability, like, like he's playing like a king on a horse, and then he gets to like one part where he's playing a part, he goes like, or you could be a Scottish mace and working hard, like, and he's like laying some cement over a brick, and it's like, that's an Irish accent, you douchebag. Or is it that he's a Scottish mason and he's working really hard to make his way in the world? I don't like him, but that's not the problem, because he was supposed to play the bad guy. The problem that I had is that his character pulls a complete 180, no explanation, in one scene. Like, just total change of character, nothing built up to it. He had every reason in the world to hate Baby, even possibly kill him and his girlfriend. And his character just pulls this protective fatherly figure 180 in a span of about 10 seconds. And it's like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, this same character is like literally threatening Baby and those he loves at the beginning of the movie. Like, yeah, I will kill these people if you don't, like, square up with me, kind of a fucking thing. And it's like, again, I could understand if, like, a little bit of the fatherly figure had come out, like, as the movie, progressed, or like, maybe Baby did something that he really didn't have to, that helped him out, or I don't know. Something, anything, any type of evolution that would have led to that change of heart. But it's like, it was so, and I understand it sounds like a nitpicky detail, but I really couldn't get past it. It was that obvious. The characters are good and the acting is good, and like, it's not a terrible movie. It's just a very underwhelming movie, especially considering the absolute masterpieces that Edgar Wright has come out with in the past. And I'm not throwing shade at the guy. I'm really not. I'm talking about this movie and this movie only, all right? A creative mind can only come out with so many great things, and even when it does, even when it's in the middle of brilliance, it'll have a few duds. It's inevitable. Spielberg has done crappy movies in his prime. It happens. And in this case, it wasn't even a crappy movie. It was just a little underwhelming. But that's my thoughts. What are yours?